Everyone tells you that you need $1 million to retire. But what if I told you that number is almost completely wrong? And that the real truth could change your life by decades? It's almost midnight, and you're staring at your salary on the screen. $62,000. Finally asking the question you've been avoiding since you were 25. How much money do I actually need to never work again? Every financial guru online says $1 million, as if it's a law of physics. But here's what they're not telling you. Most of them are selling something. So tonight, you open a real calculator and do the math yourself. Rent $1,400. Car payment $380. Groceries $520. Utilities $190. Phone $90. Insurance $240. Subscriptions $84. Gas $200. Miscellaneous $700. Total $4,200 a month, $50,400 a year, just to stay alive in the United States. But here's where it gets uncomfortable. $1 million invested at a 4% safe withdrawal rate gives you only $40,000 a year, and you're $10,000 short of your expenses. The number you've been chasing for 10 years. The one you've sacrificed vacations and time for, doesn't even work. Then something hits you that nobody on YouTube ever says. You don't need to replace your salary, you need to replace your bills, two completely different numbers. Your salary is $62,000, but after taxes and 401k, you actually live on $42,000. And you don't have to replace the whole life at once because each bill has a number, each number is a door, and each door closes a chain wrapped around your job. Your phone bill is $90 a month, which needs $27,000 to replace forever. You already have $34,000 in your 401k, so you're already free of your phone bill, you just didn't know it. Your car payment needs $114,000, and you can see the shape of the path now. When you run the real numbers, your $4,200 monthly bills require $1,260,000 to replace forever. But withdrawals from a 401k get taxed, so you'd actually need $1,575,000. And then you add inflation in 30 years, your $50,400 won't buy what it buys today. So the real number you need is closer to $1.8 million, almost double the lie they sold you. You pull out a savings calculator, plug in your numbers, $34,000 invested, $500 a month contribution, 7% average return. And the screen tells you, age 76, you're 32, which means 44 more years of quarterly reviews, 44 more years of saying thanks, I appreciate it to a manager who doesn't remember your name. So the math just told you that you don't have decades, you have a sentence. You bump your contribution to $1,000 a month and get age 64. Bump it to $1,500 and get age 58. Bump it to $2,000 and get age 53. But you stop because $2,000 a month is half your take-home pay. It's the wedding you don't go to, the car you don't replace, the trips you don't take. It's giving up the next decade of being alive to buy a decade later of not having to work. This is the real trade nobody tells you about. Time now versus time later. You start cutting things from your life. Streaming services $42, gym membership $35, takeout $280, the car lease difference $180, the vacation every February for 5 years freeing up $850 a month. And when you run the calculator again, it says age 47, giving you 29 years of your life back. But sitting on the floor in the dark, you feel the trade in your body, not just your head. Then you realize neither extreme gets it right. The guy who says yes to everything works until 76, and the guy who says no to everything retires at 47 but spent 15 years declining life itself. So there's a third version, and he starts now. You cut $500 a month instead of $850, keeping the February vacation, keeping one dinner with friends a week, keeping your humanity. And when you run the number again, it says age 54 or 22 years. Not the fantasy of 47 or the prison of 76, but 22 years of doing the boring thing on purpose. At 1:17 a.m., staring at the screen, you realize the real number was never $1 million. The real number is 22 years, and you think about who you have to become: the man who says no on Friday nights, who drives the same car for 10 years, who skips the wedding in Greece because that $1,400 flight is $1,400 the portfolio doesn't get. But you also think about the man sitting here at 54, the one with no alarm clock waiting for him, with a portfolio that pays his bills forever, with a calendar with no Mondays in it. You don't know him yet, you can barely picture him, but you're about to spend 22 years building him. And, as you close your laptop and the room goes dark, you don't feel free yet. But you feel something you haven't felt in 10 years. You feel like you have a plan. Right now, somewhere in this country, someone else is staring at a calculator with their salary on the screen, believing the number is $1 million, not knowing the real answer was never a dollar amount, but 22 years of doing the boring thing on purpose. One door closing at a time. Becoming the version of you your future self will recognize, so the choice is being made at a kitchen table somewhere tonight. And the next decision you make decides which version of you shows up at 54.